For this video, we're going to go back to the basics and we're going to take a look at how to add ourselves another image. Get yourself the folder which contains the image that you have. The most simple and easiest way is to left click on it to make sure it's highlighted, and then you just left click and then drag this into Photoshop. Once the icon pops up with a plus, you can then let go of it, and then this will drag it into your main project. You then double left click to apply it, and there we go. We have ourselves the image. Now the second way to do this is also really simple. You go to File, Open, and then in here you just select the image, click on Open, and this will open it up in a new tab. Sometimes you will have restrictions. If this is a background, then you just want to left click on the lock, and then this will allow you to move it wherever you want. Once you can move it wherever you want, you just left click, drag this into your first project, and then once this is open, you can then hover over and then let go once the icon pops up once again. And the difference between these two is if you just drag it in, it will auto scale it so you can actually see it on the screen. If you open it up in a new tab, it will stay at its original size. So as you can see, this is now larger than the one before. You press Control or Command and T, and this will bring up the control options. So as you can see, we now have the control right here, and if you wanted to, you can scale this down. Now, if you can't do it that way, let's say for whatever reason, then you can go to the first tool, make sure that this one's selected, and then in here, there'll be something called Show Transform Controls. You just tick this, and this will basically be the same. Now with this one, once you've scaled it down to what you prefer, so let's say we want it right about this size right here, and want to align it to the center, you can then go into the first tool once again, and then untick this for it to disappear. This will also work with other projects that you have open. So for example, I have another one open right here. And if we wanted to, you can just left click and move this one from here onto this background right here. And then you just let go of it. Same as last time, Control and T or Command and T to rescale this. And then you just drag the corners back in to whatever scale you prefer. You can move it wherever you want on the image. Let's say we want it right about here. We can just double left click to apply it, and there we go. Another thing about this is very simple. You pretty much already know this by now, but you have layers. And with layers, you always want to make sure that you have everything above your background. And if your plane, let's say for example, is covering the main image, you can just move this underneath it. And it's always here. You can always move it wherever you want. You can scale it down or increase the size. Same goes for the main image, which is right here. Scale it down or make it larger. A cool trick to this is if you press Control or Command and A, this will highlight everything. And if you go to the first tool, you can align this to the center and then align it to the center as well here. So this is the vertical and then the horizontal alignment. Press Control and D, and there we go. You've now aligned it to the center. And that's pretty much it. That's how you add yourself another image on top of a current image that you have. And you can keep on overlapping as many images as you want. Let's say you had multiple ones that you wanted to import. We can hold Shift, click on the bottom one. You can hide these ones. You can left click off of this, and then you can open up a folder. Let's say we wanted to import them all at the same time, and you had multiple images. You just left click on one, hold Control or Command, click on the other image, and then also click on the other image as well. So for example, the background. Once you've got all the ones that you want to use highlighted, you just left click and then drag this into your work area, same as last time. Let go of it once it pops up, and this will put it in a order. So the last one that we highlighted was the background. You just double left click. This will move on to the next image, which is the plane. Once again, you can rescale this, change the size, make it a little bit smaller, and then double left click to apply it. And then the final one, which is this image, you can scale this down. Now, let's say you didn't want to scale it to the corner. If you want to scale it in the center, what you can do is you can hold Alt or Option key, and this will scale it directly in the center. It will use the center anchor point rather than the left bottom corner. And then once again, double left click, and your action is now complete.